Some stories are unsettling not because they sound impossible, but because they might already be happening. Imagine this. You wake up in the middle of the night with a thought in your head that doesn't feel like your own. You can't explain it. You can't trace it, but it's there. An intrusive feeling, an unexplained fear, a sudden compulsion. What if that thought was placed there? For decades, rumors have swirled about governments experimenting with ways to influence the human mind. Not with chemicals, not with persuasion, but with invisible waves, frequencies, and electromagnetic fields. A new kind of battlefield, one where wars are fought not with guns, but with signals that alter your very perception of reality. Welcome to the Unknown Archive. Today, we dive deep into one of the most disturbing frontiers of modern experimentation, the weaponization of the human brain. From HAARP and microwave weapons to DARPA's mind-hacking technology and long-forgotten Cold War programs, we ask a chilling question. Can thoughts be controlled remotely? And if so, who's doing the controlling? To understand how we got here, we need to rewind to one of the most infamous secret programs in U.S. history, MKUltra. A CIA-led series of psychological experiments from the 1950s through the 1970s, MKUltra sought to control the human mind using drugs, hypnosis, sleep deprivation, and even sensory manipulation. But that was just the surface. Declassified documents and whistleblower testimony suggest MKUltra researchers were fascinated with more than just LSD. They wanted to unlock non-invasive methods of mind control. That meant frequencies. That meant waves. That meant the electromagnetic spectrum. In 1976, the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency released a report on Soviet research into psychotronic weapons, devices that could allegedly use electromagnetic energy to alter human behavior. And while many dismissed these claims as Cold War paranoia, it didn't stop Western intelligence from pursuing similar technologies. In fact, it accelerated them. Officially, HAARP was built to study the ionosphere. Unofficially, some believe its true purpose was to explore how high-frequency radio waves could be used to influence cognitive states and brain activity on a mass scale. How would this work? The human brain operates on specific frequencies. Alpha waves, theta waves, delta waves. These electrical patterns correlate with everything from sleep to concentration to emotion. If you could beam matching frequencies into a region, especially across vast distances, you might, in theory, influence mood, induce confusion, or even incite aggression. HAARP's massive antenna array had the capability to direct highly focused energy beams into the sky. But some theorists insist that the tech could also bounce signals back down, reflecting off the ionosphere to hit a target area on Earth. Could that target be your city? Your mind? The U.S. government has denied this repeatedly. But the question remains, why was a research facility with no weapons testing involved in so many black-budget military projects? It sounds like science fiction. A weapon that allows you to speak directly into someone's mind. But this isn't fiction. During the Iraq War, reports emerged of a mysterious U.S. psychological operation that used a technology called Silent Sound Spread Spectrum, or SSSS. It supposedly enabled operatives to embed subliminal commands into soldiers' subconscious minds through modulated frequencies. This technology is rumored to be an evolution of something called the Voice of God weapon, a directed microwave system that can project audible voices into a target's head. Yes, you heard that right. Microwave auditory effect, also known as the Fry effect, has been demonstrated in laboratory conditions. By beaming certain frequencies into a person's skull, you can make them perceive phantom sounds, whispers, even sentences without any external speaker. Imagine sitting in a quiet room, and suddenly you hear someone whisper your name, but there's no one there, no speakers, no devices, just an invisible beam interacting with your brain's electrical field. That's the power of the Fry effect. And it's not science fiction. It's peer-reviewed, tested, and very real. If that's possible, then what else is? Fast forward to 2016. U.S. and Canadian diplomats in Havana, Cuba, began reporting bizarre symptoms: nausea, confusion, vertigo, headaches, memory loss. The cause? Unclear. Some described hearing an eerie high-pitched sound before the symptoms started. Others said they felt pressure in their skull, like something was being forced into their minds. The symptoms were so consistent and severe that the phenomenon gained a name, Havana Syndrome, and triggered a wave of investigations. One theory quickly rose to the surface. The diplomats had been targeted by a directed energy weapon, possibly microwave-based. The implications were chilling. This wasn't just surveillance. This was silent, invisible assault. A weapon that left no trace, no bullet, no explosion, only a broken mind. The National Academies of Sciences later concluded that pulsed radiofrequency energy was the most likely culprit, suggesting that someone out there had developed a weapon that could impair cognition remotely. This wasn't fringe speculation anymore. This was the US government admitting, at least partially, that invisible weapons targeting the brain might actually exist. And what's more disturbing, we still don't know who's behind it or if it stopped. While conspiracy theories swirl around the past, the future is quietly being shaped by DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Their current projects include next-generation brain-computer interfaces to allow soldiers to control drones with thought alone, neurological suppression tech to neutralize combatants non-lethally, neuroethical enhancement programs aimed at altering emotions and decision-making patterns in high-stress environments. All this under the banner of defense. All this using your brain's electrical language against you. The battlefield is no longer just out there. It's in here. Could such tech be used for more than just battlefield advantage? Could it influence elections, spark riots, or pacify populations? When you blur the line between brainwaves and broadcast signals, the possibilities become both fascinating and terrifying. They told us MKUltra was shut down. They said HAARP was just a science experiment. They insist that microwave mind control is science fiction. But history teaches us one thing. When governments gain the power to manipulate perception, they rarely give it up. We now live in a world where electromagnetic weapons, neural implants, and behavioral programming are no longer confined to laboratories or spy novels. They're being patented, funded, and tested, sometimes in secret, sometimes in plain sight. So the next time a thought pops into your head, ask yourself, is it really yours? Because the war for your mind might already be underway. What do you think? Is mind control through electromagnetic frequency possible, or just Cold War fantasy? Leave your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another descent into the unknown.